right, guys, I hope you're enjoying all of the videos recently. I've got some extra time over the holidays, so trying to produce some content here. And one of the things we have here is another EVAP case. So this is very timely, given that we just did an EVAP video and reviewed the EVAP system. This is going to be on a 2015 Kia Soul, the particular issue we have. And that issue is going to be a P0441 code. I wrote it down. Let me check that. All right, sorry about that. I wrote it down when I was at the customer about a week ago, and I ran the code scan. P0441, it's a EVAP Purge incorrect flow code, whatever the hell that means, right? So what we are going to do is diagnose that, and before I do, for those of you guys who saw my last video, I just want to make an apology to you guys. It was very inappropriate, but I recognize that now for the rest of all of our lives, whenever we hear ground, it's like totally different now. So I can see you could lose your job over this. You're a professional, you're in a dealership, and somebody tells you to check a ground, and it's all like you lose it and it's all over, and they don't know why. So my apologies for that, but well, at least it helps you to remember my videos. All right, let's take a look at this car real quick, and let's get started on diagnosing this code. All right, I've already got the car lifted, and that's because I have an idea where I believe we may find the issue based on some information. So let's get some background information here and get a direction to go. Okay, so the first one is the incorrect flow code, as that suggests, and I'm not quite sure how this works, not totally sure. But of course, when we know about EVAP systems now, right, from last video and the diagnosis and understanding series, so we can talk fluently about this. And what we know is that with an incorrect flow, we're going to have that purge solenoid open, and it should draw vapors from that EVAP canister. And somehow, I'm not quite exactly sure how it does it, but it knows that there should be a certain amount of EVAP flow, and that flow is not being calculated correctly. I'm not sure if it does it through a change in the short-term fuel trim, or whether there's some kind of maybe pressure sensors or something. One of the things, we could put this on my scan tool, and we've got another video where I show how to do that, and you can get all this data, and we would surely be able to zero into the problem. I'm going to try to do this low tech so we keep true to the kind of nature of the channel. But we also have another difference with this system in that there's a couple of differences. One of them, the way that it does the leak testing. This system will actually have a pump, so it actually pressurizes the system and then looks for a decay rate. This is different than the vacuum test system that we described that most EVAP systems use. I don't think that's going to be a factor for an incorrect flow, although I can see where a leak in the system could, of course, because it's still drawn by vacuum, could cause an incorrect flow, but I'm going to expect that we would have a leak code, and we don't. So I don't think that we're going to have a leak issue or a leak detection issue. The other thing is this also has a limiter valve somewhere along the line. I think it's over the gas tank. And it limits the amount of vacuum that's drawn on the system to kind of reduce the amount of fuel vaporization a bit. And if there's an issue with that, well, obviously we would have some incorrect flow. And finally, we have a third variable on this particular vehicle that I think is going to give us our first direction that we are going to head towards. And that is, after getting the check engine light, the owner took the car over to like AutoZone or O'Reilly's, read the code, did some research on it, and found that overfilling the gas tank can be a variable for this. So the thing is that he admitted to me that he has a bad habit that he knows now of overfilling the gas tank. Many of you have brought this up as a very common reason for EVAP issues, and possibly a reason why in the last video that EVAP canister was completely clogged up, possibly. Well, that may be an issue with this one because the guy admits he overfills the gas tank. So we're obviously going to go in that direction first. So let's get under the car, and we will start in that area and see. What I'm hoping to find is that we've got charcoal canister full of gasoline. Maybe we'll be lucky, be able to blow it out and restore the correct flow. Let's see. All right, well, if we have to do an EVAP video, this is the car to do it on. Look how easy this is. We clearly have charcoal canister right here. We've got a purge solenoid right here. And then the gas tank is off here. This here, can we see it in the shot? Yeah, this here is the filler tube for the gas tank. Right next to the filler tube, you can see we have another thing that goes up there. That's clearly going to be the vent, and where possibly overfilling has possibly put gasoline into this system. The first thing is I want to see, is there some possibility of gasoline in this system? So let's set up a light here. Oh my God, this is like the easiest system in the world to work on. All right, so we're going to take this hose off here, off the canister. And I think what I'm also going to do is, we've got the lowest point in the system right here on this hose. So I think I'm going to disconnect this hose, and that would be awesome if we get some fuel that comes out of there. Wouldn't that be great? These, by the way, are a little new toy of mine. These are some hose disconnect pliers for these clamps like that. It's got a little cup end there and a little slot end on the other side. I love these. I'm going to get a set of these in different angles and stuff, but that makes it real easy. Like this comes apart real easy. All right, I'm going to back up just in case some gas spills out of here. No gas spills. Oh, wait a minute. Look. What is that? It's wet in there. Well, I was expecting something dramatic, but there is some moisture in there. Let me take a look with another flashlight. Hang on. Yeah, there was just a tiny bit of moisture in the hose, and I don't think it's anything. It's actually, you can see it. You can see it right here. There's little droplets on there, and let me smell that, see if it's fuel. Well, it's going to smell like fuel anyway. That's not going to help. Let's just run my finger across that. No, it's water is all it is. So it's just, I think, from being wet from driving up here. It snowed last night. So what we want to do is, I am going to do this really, really low tech. One of the things, of course, is if this charcoal canister is plugged up, or maybe it has fuel in it. Maybe we'll blow some gasoline out or something cool. Or maybe it just won't flow at all. So I'm just going to blow in here. It blows absolutely clean through. If we were to do our smoke machine test, if I were to put my smoke machine there, smoke would just billow right out of the other end. So what's interesting is I want to do that again. I want to listen. Is there any evidence of like some fuel in the canister that bubbles or gurgles? Absolutely none. All right, well, that is not working out too well. So the other thing, while I'm down here, another possibility could, of course, be this vent solenoid. So let's disconnect this vent solenoid here. And let me go get a 12-volt source. So first of all, we know this vent should be open unless we close it. And it'd be a lot easier to close it with a scan tool, but we'll just put 12 volts to it. So let me see if I can go up here. Yeah, blow right through it. No problem. I don't hear any fuel or anything gurgling in there. Absolutely clean. So one thing that could cause an incorrect flow, obviously, is if the vent solenoid does not close all the way. So let's close that vent solenoid and see if we can get any air past it. All right, so what I've done is I found some hose here. The right way to do this, obviously, would be to put a vacuum pump on here and see that it holds vacuum. We're just going to do this like super low tech for today. So I'm going to get a good, really tight fit on that hose right there. I can now blow through this hose. Perfect. And what we're going to do is I can close that solenoid now. And we'll see if there's any leakage past it. And it just occurred to me when I was looking for the hose here and everything that I'm doing this totally wrong and backwards. The first thing I forgot, I should have checked the battery, right? And then I should have checked for codes instead of checking for codes first. And then, of course, we would check power and grounds. So we're not even going to check power and grounds here, I don't think. So yeah, totally doing this wrong. All right, so sorry this isn't in view, but all I'm doing is I'm just putting 12 volts to the solenoid. Hear it click. And then, where's the other end of my hose? There it is. Going to blow through this. This is real professional looking, I guess. Well, I'm off camera. That's probably a good thing. But I'm going to blow through the other end of the hose. Oh yeah, you can't blow through it at all. So that vent solenoid is good. We don't seem to have a problem back here, actually. Could possibly be that vacuum limiter thing, but we're going to check that last because of the location of it. It's going to be easier at this point. I want to go up to the front of the vehicle and we want to check the purge solenoid itself. So let me put everything back together here real quick, because while I do this, I do want to, I've got to eat some crow. I am just flabbergasted at this. So some of you guys are wondering why I don't have a spider dropping out of here, because maybe it's clogged with spiders. A viewer actually sent me a link where I don't even know what to say. There was a recall on Suzuki vehicles of several years ago, maybe 2015 or so. And that recall was for these spiders that were apparently attracted to the fuel scent. And there were some cars where it actually, the EVAP vent was blocked by spider webs. Damn it. So I guess Scotty's absolved on that one. The only trouble is that it was only on a Subaru. And the other thing is I was really still skeptical, so I looked into it. The number of incidences of that happening were actually extremely rare, but there were 100,000 something vehicles recalled for it. So let's see here. Do I have everything? Yep, everything's back the way it was here. Let's go up to the front of the vehicle. I don't think our issue is back here. All right, well, once again, my logical, rational diagnostic procedure has failed me. We guessed wrong on our initial thing, but here's the thing. We didn't replace charcoal canister. We didn't replace vent solenoid. We haven't replaced anything. We're still trying to figure it out. So I think there are probably plenty of shops that just based on that customer description, they would have put a charcoal canister in this. It definitely does not have an issue in the EVAP canister area and vent solenoid area. So what I'm going to do is lower the car back down a bit, and let's take a look at where I believe we're more likely to find the problem, and that's going to be at the purge solenoid. All right, and I wonder how many people would have put a gas cap on this too, right? EVAP code, it's gas cap, it's gas cap. I bet probably a lot. To be honest with you, given the nature of that code, I think I would sooner spray this vehicle with Raid than I would replace the gas cap. I'm sure if we had a gas cap issue and it was just that simple, we again, given how this thing does the leak detection, we would have seen a, what is it, a P0455 large EVAP leak. I am looking for what would be that. That is clearly a purge solenoid right there. Okay, that guy right there. Well, man, this is like this is the car to use for an EVAP thing for sure. So how easy is that? Let's just go ahead and remove that purge solenoid, and we're going to do the same tests that we just did on the EVAP canister. Okay, so in this purge solenoid, we will just simply bench test. Before I do that, let's there's the inlet valve. No, is this the inlet? Nope, that's going to the intake down here. So this will be the out, this will be the in. Again, going really low tech. I'm just going to blow through this and see. Totally clear. I don't hear any gurgling or anything like that. Yeah, totally clean there. All right, and then this guy down here, he's going to go to the intake manifold, and I need a hose for that. All right, we're going to feed this hose in here. Make sure we got no blockages to the intake. You can blow through that. That is not our issue. I'm kind of thinking we may have a faulty solenoid, so let's go test our solenoid. We're going to do some semblance of professionalism here, so we're going to bring out the vacuum gauge, and I think that'll also give a little better visual for you here. But before we do that, I am, of course, going to blow through it. Uh-oh. Oh, you can, well, that's weird. You can blow through it a little bit. So why do we not have a leak code? Well, you know what? Maybe we do. One thing about this guy, besides overfilling his tank all the time, which of course he's going to stop doing, he always clears the codes. He doesn't like driving with check engine lights, so he keeps clearing the codes. It's possible we may have also had a leak code. All right, well, I can show you the leak on here because we can connect up vacuum gauge. And of course, this valve, oh, you know what? I wonder if it opens before I do that. Let me get my power probe one more time. Maybe the problem is it leaks a little bit because it's stuck. Yeah, you can hear it click. Yeah, you can definitely blow through it when you open it, but there is definitely a little leakage past that. But it's not like it's stuck closed or anything. No fuel gurgling in it or anything like that, so it didn't suck up fuel from the EVAP. Anyway, all kinds of variables that everybody knows long before I do. I'm sure somebody's going to point out there's a known problem on these Kias. And, okay, well, I don't know that. I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know what a known problem is for a Kia. I have no such information. All right, what we're going to do is apply vacuum to this, and we're going to look for a decay. Okay, so we're going to take this and, wow, like, really? God, it was actually really hard to blow through it, but there's no, see how that decays immediately? I can't even build up past 7 psi. All right, so the other possibility, there could be a leak in my hose as well. Maybe the hose has a leak. So to test that, all I'm going to do is take my thumb, plug up the other end of the solenoid, and look at that. Now we can pump it up. Looks like we still have some decay. Yeah, we do. We still have some decay on that solenoid. So what I need to do now is I need to just test to make sure that I don't have a leak in my hose or my gauge. So I'm just going to plug up the end of my hose, going to pump up. Yeah, we can see it holds perfectly. That would hold indefinitely right there. Okay. Wow. So yeah, we solved our problem. This solenoid is bad. Let me try this a little bit. Sometimes if you blow through them while you click on it really hard, you can clear out if there's some kind of debris or something blocking it. Blocking it meaning preventing it from closing all the way. All right, let's see if that did anything, but I think what we're going to do is buy a solenoid for this guy. Yeah, no difference at all. Exactly the same as before. All right, we are done. This car needs a solenoid. All right, well, how easy was that one? And that was pretty fun, too. And also notice we did that absolutely without any kind of technological equipment. We just understood the system, and we just had to eliminate variables until we got to the right one. Would somebody have fixed this quicker? Yeah, sure. If they decided to go to the EVAP purge solenoid instead of to the back of the car, they would have fixed it in half the time I did. But if it was a vent solenoid issue or something like that, I would have fixed it faster. You don't know. There's no possible way you know. You can get some indications based on maybe there's TSBs or something where you know the purge solenoids fail, whatever. I don't have access to it. It doesn't matter. We didn't put in $1,000 worth of parts to fix this car. We didn't guess. We're going to put in a purge solenoid. That'll fix it. We're done. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this entertaining. I'm going to be gone for a little bit. I got some business travel for my real job. But when we come back, we'll be putting some more content up on Schrodinger's Box Quantum Mechanics, my paid channel. So we will see you later.